You're watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin, and I'm so excited for this next guest. I love learning new things, and when I searched her up, there's this word that came up, and I thought, I don't even know what this means, and I can't wait to meet her. She's the founder and CEO of O'Malley Enterprises, LLC, an executive performance consulting and coaching firm. She's a highly sought-after master performance coach for companies like Google, Amazon Plus, John Deere, and she is a top Enneagram expert. That's the word, Enneagram. Is that it? I don't even know if I'm saying it right. And a multi-millionaire entrepreneur, Tracy O'Malley. Welcome to America Trends.
Hello, Ennea what?
Ennea who? I thought
That's what I said.
I need to Google this. And then it was fascinating because I started learning all the things, and I can't wait to talk to you about what it all means. So welcome to our show. We're matching in our post-Valentine's Day red here.
Yes.
Great to have you here. So talk to me about, well, first of all, how did you get into performance coaching and this world that you're in right now?
It's funny because usually we end up teaching what we need to learn the most. And I came into this kicking and screaming, quite honestly. The Enneagram was introduced to me by my therapist a little over 11 years ago. And when she wanted me to kind of dive in with her, I was like, I'd rather not. I don't need a label. I don't want to be put in a box. I'm a little stubborn, almost 100% Irish. And she's like, honey, your best thinking has kind of gotten you here. And this might actually help you get out of the box that not only you have put yourself in, but the world has also put you in too. And I was like, well, she's got a point.
I love that, what you just said about, my best thinking got me here. So sometimes it's like, let's listen to what some other people have to say maybe, because maybe they have something that I don't know. And so tell me about what the Enneagram is, what it stands for, or what it means. I think there's 9 different modalities within it. Is that correct? I don't even know if that's the right word.
Yes, it is this ancient kind of personality assessment thing. I'm somebody who's a straight shooter, and I always want to know, like, what's in this for me? Why is this important for me? And what it is, it's this beautiful framework that has 9 different archetypes, and each one has a very, very specific motive and a very, very specific fear. And, with so many things, behavior tests, Myers-Briggs, all those amazing self-awareness tools, they focus on the behaviors. And just like we know, we can change our behaviors, January 1st, we all change our behaviors. And by this time of year, all that has gone out the window and we're back to where we started. When we get to the root of things and the motive behind what we do, we can really facilitate some transformation in our life. And we can do it really, really fast with the framework of the Enneagram.
Okay, so when I was going on to, I looked it up to see what it was, and I saw, there was 9 different things, and I would say prawns coming off, right? And I thought, well, I have this, and I have this, and I have this. I don't know if we can see that graphic, but and there's probably a lot of different ones. I saw a few, but so tell me about, how do you discover which one you are, or, is everyone maybe a combination of all of them, right?
Well, that's the goal. The goal is to be able to embody all 9 types and be the most well-rounded, well-versed kind of person. That's kind of a stretch, but that's the goal, right? And this is the one kind of flaw in figuring this out. It is this self-discovery journey. And with all these online assessments and quizzes, for something as complex, it's not complicated, but it is complex. And to just type in a few answers here and there is not going to tell you what motivates you to your core. So what I usually will tell people, if you're going to explore this on your own without somebody that does this day in and day out, just be patient. Use those online assessments. They're inaccurate about 65 to 70% of the time, but it's a great starting point. And when you get the top results, really look at the motive behind it, because most of us have experienced some stuff in our life that we really use behaviors to protect our biggest fears and guard our heart. And so a lot of times what pops up as your first result on that assessment or quiz is usually maybe one of your behaviors or coping mechanisms, not really the motive behind it. I was one of those people. Mine was wrong at first as well.
Well, because I also think sometimes when I'm filling out a personality test or something like that, I think, is this who I want to be or who I think I am versus actually who I really am, and or who was I when I was 25 versus now at the age I am now. You know, it's like I've changed and I've grown over these years. So it's very interesting for me when I take little quizzes like this. But so what about this makes it more than just, you know, your average personality test?
It really gets to the root of things. You know, when I was exploring this and when I got to the root of what motivated everything that I did, it kind of gets through, you know, the wreckage. I think by the time I was taking this, I was 40 years old. So I had a lot of life experience underneath my belt. And especially when you're trying to transform, pivot, take on a new career, you're entering a new stage of painting, any of these things, you realize what got you here won't get you there. And having this tool to really kind of sift through some of the sludge, some of the wreckage, some of the coping mechanisms, and really get to the heart of matters allows you to grow faster, change your behaviors and patterns a little bit quicker. And the most important part, you have so much more compassion for yourself. You realize that some of the stuff you have done along the way was survival. And it really, really gave me this level of compassion for myself, because shame and anger at ourselves really just keeps us more stuck and in the cycle.
Absolutely.
And this allowed me to look at myself in a whole different way. And when I understood that everything that I was doing that was not my favorite part of myself was to protect that big fear of my Enneagram type of being, you know, wounded or hurt, I could really coddle myself in a beautiful, compassionate, empathetic way, rather than like forcing or trying to strong arm myself into growth, because that never is sustainable. Whenever we try to force it, it's just a matter of time before we're back where we started.
So then tell me how, I so agree with all of this, and then tell me how this relates to how companies, you know, you work with Google and Amazon, these big companies, how you know, use this information to help companies grow.
It has been so beautiful to see higher level leaders say, you know what, I don't know how to effectively lead everyone. I can lead people just like me. I speak this language. But in order for you to, you know, take the whole vision the entire way, you're going to need more people than just the ones like you. And having this language that is common and non-judgmental when used properly and in integrity allows everyone to empower each other in a different way, fill the gaps where maybe there are some in the leadership. And it takes the emotional charge out of things when maybe somebody is ticking you off a little bit or you don't understand how they operate. When I come into these companies and say, this is who's in the room, this is who's leading the ship, and this is where you're really, really great, and this is where you're going to have a little bit more patience and understanding, or if you're hiring, this is where we kind of need to focus. It's powerful. And, you know, especially right now in the world, companies are having to do a lot more with a lot less manpower.
Yeah.
And so you have to leverage every single human that is driving this train forward. And when you know what you're working with, you can do that a lot more effectively.
Yeah, understanding the differences of everyone that's working for you and embracing them rather than fearing them, I think is so important. So Tracy, thank you so much for being here. We can find you at tracyo'malley.com or at Tracy_O'Malley on social media. Lead, love, and live by design, not by default. I love this this premise of the Enneagram personality test. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Everyone go check out Tracy's page and stick around for more America Trends right after this quick break.